ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Make Our World Your Runway. And as all of you know, this show is not only about pageantry, but it's about modeling, fashion, entertainment, business industry, and also we are doing some beauty tips as well. That is something new that we've added. And before I bring my guest on today, and when you hear her and see her and listen to her story, it's very apropos about what our show is all about. And we have a fantastic show planned for you today. We're actually going to do a recap on the Miss International World Pageant, which just took place in October, and also London, England, for 100 successful women in business. But before we do that, I would like to tell you about some announcements that we always have. Now, if you want to see shows, for Make Our World Your Runway and success stories from the GTC, remember to subscribe to the Global Trade Chamber YouTube channel. This way you can view Make Our World Your Runway and success stories. And the reason why I tell you this is because not only does our show feature amazing individuals, but when you go to the Global Trade Chamber and you see the success stories, the women that are on there are so powerful. They've started from humble beginnings and they've become entrepreneurs, and what they've done in business and the community is absolutely fantastic. So make sure you subscribe, because you're just going to hear some wonderful stories on both ends. And also, if you want to know all about 100 successful women in business, make sure you do go to their website, www.100swb.com. This way you can follow everything that we are doing, and also check out our schedule for 2023. It is going to be dynamic. We are going to start off March the 2nd with a fabulous women's roadshow in Miami at the DoubleTree Hotel. It is going to be amazing. It'll be a show, a conference, something you do not want to miss if you are in the Miami area. And we do have women that will be flying in for that. We are going to be in Puerto Rico this year for a big conference. We are going to be in India. We are going to be in the Philippines. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So that's something that you do not want to miss. Also, Volume 2 is out for the 100 most successful women in business. You can purchase it on Amazon. Again, fabulous stories from women from humble beginnings, and that's why it's called From Scratch to Success. When you read their stories, you're going to see how they actually portray themselves right from their heart. Some of them started from very humble beginnings, and today are some of the most successful entrepreneurs around the world. And that's the reason why we're recapping London, England today, because we had women, 100 women from all over the globe come there to accept the award as 100 most successful women in business. So stay tuned on that. And as I said, we have a very fantastic show planned for you today, because at the end of the year, we like to look back on some of the outstanding events that have taken place. So today, as I said before, our show is going to recap the Miss International World Pageant and the 100 Successful Women in Business Awards Gala and Expo that took place in London, England this past August. But let's start with the Miss International World Pageant. The 2022 Miss International World Pageant and Miss Latina pageant once again took place on board Margaritaville at Sea. It's been 5 years now that this wonderful cruise line has hosted our event. We had 22 beautiful women from around the world that made their way to the United States to compete for the prestigious title of Miss International World and Miss Latina International. They came from India, Sweden, Nigeria, Colombia, Bahamas, Singapore, just to name a few. And at Miss International World, we drive to find true beauty with purpose, because our motto clearly states we are more than a pageant, more than beauty. We are a way of life for all women, because we empower them through a crown. And these women are just not models. They have a sense and drive for something larger than themselves. They all represent a platform, follow through with community service to the competition. The Miss International World organization features some of the best entertainment in the industry today. We have performances by Tito Puente Jr. featuring Melina Almodovar. And this year's theme was Return to the Copa, which was so apropos because it was a tribute to the great Tito Puente, who played the Copa many a times. And we also had Stephen Avi, renowned violinist, who really wowed the crowd. He was absolutely amazing. And we would be remiss if we didn't mention our two fabulous hosts. And he is backed by popular demand every year, Lamont Easter. He's a veteran actor, and his beautiful co-host this year was none other than the 2021 Miss International World, Dr. Akshata Prabhu. They did a fabulous job. And let's not also forget all the fabulous people, okay, that contributed so very much to our show. And we do want to give them a big shout out as well. Once again, Margaritaville at Sea, VIP Pageantry, Pageant Planet, Portada Magazine, the International Glamour Project, SP Fashion Direct. And while we've got SP Fashion Direct saying that, we would like to give a big, tremendous shout out to Susmita Patel, who happens to be our model and pageant coordinator. She is one amazing lady, and this show could not be possible if it was not for Susmita Patel. So Susmita, we love you, and we hope you have many more years with our organization. And also 100 Successful Women in Business with Global Trade Chamber, our very good friend, Atika Rahman. Trovy Swimwear, Lasky Architect, Misty's Florist, Curls Poppin', Stay True and Company, who did our fabulous video, Carlos Abiza Photography, Jesse Davison Law Firm, MVD Models, Borgia Cosmetics. And while I'm mentioning Borgia Cosmetics, as I said, we get beauty tips. Today, I happen to have on the lipstick by Borgia Cosmetics, and we're going to be doing a big feature on them coming up in our shows in January. And it actually, has been started by Miss International World Petite, 2021, Britt Ovanowski. So stay tuned for that announcement as well. Your Model Management, Purpose Never Dies, Dr. D. Thompson, Learn, Look, Locate. That's a great organization that helps women recognize the early warning signs of cancer. Wonderful group to work with. Rebecca Major and the Bougie Beauty team, who did all the hair and makeup during the pageant, VIP Printing, and of course, Supermodels Unlimited. And a big shout out to all the individuals that were on Make Our World Your Runway. We want to wish you and your families a wonderful, wonderful Christmas and a very, very happy New Year. And now we are going to get on to my guest. And as I said, it's very apropos that she is here today because she not only was a recipient of 100 Successful Women in Business in London, England, but she also competed at the Miss International World Pageant in our Classic division. Now, she's a wife, she's a caregiver, she's a mother of 2 and a grandchildren of 3. She's a CEO and business owner of 2 companies. And believe it or not, with everything that she does, she's also a runway print model, author, and motivational speaker. And as I said, with her summary of successes, again, 100 Successful Women in Business, left corporate to become an entrepreneur 2 years ago. And she's traveled to 14 countries. Listen to that, 14 countries within the last 5 years. And she loves helping people, and she's living to share what she hopes will inspire others to live more fulfilling lives. Ladies and gentlemen, she's absolutely amazing. And I want to add this. She comes from Detroit, Michigan. And if you know anything about Detroit, that is the sound of Motown. It has and always will be that great sound that produced so many wonderful entertainers. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's welcome Latina Roggero to Make Our World Your Runway.
Thank you.
Hello there, Miss Latina. You know I had to get in there, Detroit.
Of course. And look, we have a winter storm right now, so unfortunately.
Well, you know what? Even with that winter storm, the sound of Motown is still there. No matter, you cannot kill that. You can't kill that music. You know, it's so funny. as I said, very apropos that you're here today. Yesterday, I was watching the movie on the Temptations. And I said to my husband, this must be fate, because Latina's coming on the show tomorrow. And here it is. I'm watching one of the greatest groups that ever came out of Motown. So that music is absolutely amazing.
It is amazing. Great.
But anyway, welcome to our show. And we are delighted to have you here because you are a recipient of the 100 Successful Women in Business Award. And we were further honored that you came into Miss International World and competed. You did a fabulous job. Very tough competition this year. All of you ladies, your scores were so high, okay? When it came time for the judges to do the evaluation and we were looking at the scores, we go, this was tough. In fact, we had to flip a few coins because it was so close. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, it was a wonderful time. I really appreciate the opportunity. I learned so much from just the world, and I thank you, Angela, for the invite because it was something for me that I never thought I would have actually experienced something like that, but I'm glad that I did. And guess what? This is not the last time. I'm actually going to be competing again next year. So I'm definitely excited. For sure.
We're thrilled. Absolutely. We definitely want you to come back. I think this time, in fact, we're going to start some training sessions as well. But I think you definitely have the experience. And I will say it right here and now because I've said it and I don't judge. But I've even said, Latina comes back, she's going to capture one of those titles. You definitely have the stamina. You looked absolutely gorgeous. And what I want to know, and I think our viewers would like to know, you're such an amazing businesswoman. How did you make that transition to modeling and getting into some of the things that you do? Because that's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. Well, you know, I've always, when I was younger, of course, I figured it was more important at the time to focus on raising my daughters. But now that I'm older, you know, my kids are grown, I'm a grandmother, so it's like, you know what, why not? So this year, 2022 has been huge for me. I have really done so many great things this year just with the modeling world. I've had a lot of fun. It's truly have been an amazing year for me. And so I just decided this year, you know, to kind of get back into modeling and do some print work and do a little bit of acting here and there. And now I can say I've been a competitor for a pageant, you know, so it's been amazing and I'm having so much fun and meeting a lot of great people. I think that's one of the things too that I just being part of Miss International World, I was able to meet so many different women, amazing queens, amazing. Just hearing everyone's story was just like, wow, you know, we are all doing great. I'm so happy for the opportunity because it just opened up a new door, you know, for myself, a friendship, new sisterhood, and it's wonderful. I've been sharing my experience with all my friends, and I just got back from Mexico, and I took my crown and my banner. I took some photos, and I have just had just an amazing time. But people are asking questions and they're wanting to know, like, hey, you know, what is this about? And, you know, it gives more exposure for anyone who may not have thought that they could do something like that they could. You know, I've just inspired two women when I was out of town on vacation that they may think about, you know, joining and competing next year. So they're a little bit shy and not feeling totally confident, but I told them, I said, you know what, you'll have the support. You'll have the support from everyone, you know, that you come across.
I did want to ask you how your mom is doing, because I know, as you said, she wasn't doing well, and Christmas is coming. So I do want to send my condolences, but how is she doing today?
Thank you. She's in good spirits. I'm actually here with her at the hospital. So we just, you know, she's hanging in there as much as she can. Some testing came back. She had a recent stroke just a couple days ago, and we didn't even know. So yeah, I just found that out this morning. So just keep us in your prayers, you know.
We will. Absolutely. But anyway, I know you're quite an entrepreneur, and you've got a couple of businesses. But tell us about your main business.
My main business, so I'm a real estate investor, but on top of me investing, I do passive investing as well. I partner with an organization that helps women that have came out of domestic relationships. And since I buy homes and I flip those homes, and I flip them to sell or I flip them to keep as a buy and hold, so then that way I can kind of cater to organizations that need houses. A lot of times organizations don't have time to find houses, so they look for someone like myself to be able to, what can I do to give back to help? And so one of the ways that I'm giving back is being part of this organization and providing a home for women that have been in an abusive relationship, and that's trying to get their lives back in order. So I'm super excited about that. I'm writing a book about my life and where I've gone, and started with that now. But my book is going to talk about me and where I've been and how I was in an abusive relationship as well. And now, where I am today has been amazing, just getting out of that negativity and sticking with the positive.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fantastic. It's funny you should say that about domestic violence, because I was in a pageant one time and I worked with the Mrs. Globe organization, and Tracy Kemble, who happens to be the CEO for Mrs. Globe, she had started a nonprofit group, which was called the WIN Foundation, WIN, which stands for Women in Need. And that worked with domestic violence victims. There's so many people out there that don't realize, and that can also lead to mental health. And we were trying to get sponsorships for that. And I used to have a lot of companies that were saying, well, we only sponsor illnesses. I said, you don't understand something. When a woman goes through domestic violence, or anybody that goes through something like that, you'd be surprised when the mind cries out, the body cries out. And you'd be surprised the illnesses that can actually take place. I mean, you can get somebody that can get beaten to death and is going to suffer a heart attack. Okay, now there you go. The American Heart Association would have to get involved, or someone could get cancer, or you just don't know. So domestic violence is something that's very near and dear to my heart, because I went through a little bit of that, but I was one of the lucky ones. I was like, okay, that's it. I'm getting up on my own 2 feet and getting out. But there's so many women that are so battered, and their mind is also battered, that they don't have the opportunity to get out. Okay, so it is, yes, and it is something that a lot of people do not want to talk about, but it's like mental health. People don't want to talk about it, but the more you do speak about it, the more the community gets involved. And what you're doing as far as flipping homes, I'll tell you something. I am definitely going to recommend you to Tracy Kemble with the WIN Foundation. You don't even have to be part of the her pageant. You could be part of that, because what you're doing, oh my God, she would love it. Absolutely. So you're doing spectacular work. And that we've had presidential awards, and we're going to be coming up to our second or third round of presidential awards. And I am going to let Dr. D. Thompson know what you have done. That warrants a presidential award. Okay. Between the president and the vice president, I will definitely submit your name to that, because that is something that every woman, and even men, believe it or not, they think women are battered. There's some men that are battered too. I found that out along the way.
Yes. And they don't know about it at all.
Exactly. And the thing is, why people don't want to talk about it is because they think there's not another life at the end. Yes, there is. Okay. And I always say, look, you may have a problem with one particular gentleman in your life, but that doesn't mean there are not other men out there. I mean, look at my husband. You met him. That man is so supportive. Okay. If I dropped a pencil the wrong way, he'd stick up for me. Yeah. But, then we say there's life after death. Okay. I use that expression. Sometimes I don't like to use it, but there really is. Okay. You just have to be guided by the right people, be loved by the right people, find the right ingredients, and it will continue on. I'm very proud of this. You know what, the next pageant, this is something that has to be highlighted.
I agree. Oh my goodness, I so agree with you on that. Because like you said, people don't really want to talk about it. And I think
No.
it is something that should be discussed. A lot of women and men especially need that. They need to know and to build up their confidence to make the right decisions. If you're
Yes.
not happy, if you know that there's something wrong and it's not normal, do something about it.
Exactly.
Do something. Life is
Exactly.
too short. Life is too short.
Yeah, it is. And you know, the other day when they
Keep
came
dealing
out
with things that aren't where it should.
that's right. Exactly. And you know, the other day when they were talking about this new energy thing and the Holy Grail and how now they're coming together with the universe and the light and how to do energy, I said, well, that just goes to show you there is someone out there that created us and created all of this. And a very good friend of mine said the other day, Angela, when you realize that, you're going to get that inner peace, because now you're getting answers. And my husband said to me last week, this is the first week I've seen you walk around with a smile on your face all week. I said, you know what? I found something that I couldn't find before. Yeah. Now I have answers. Now I'm starting to realize how the world evolved, how we come together. Okay. Mm-hmm. I said, now I've got inner peace. I said, now I'm not afraid to cross over. Before I was like, well, you know, you're here, but where do you go from here? Now I think I'm starting to find the answers, that maybe the body doesn't exist, but that mind and that soul keeps going. So as I told a good friend of mine the other day, I said, I'll still be tap dancing wherever I'm at. I said, oh,
no, that's right.
I'll bring my tap shoes with me. Just put my tap shoes with me, because I'm putting them on no matter where I go. I said, because I may leave planet Earth, but I'm going someplace else. So, absolutely. And it's true. A lot of people don't think that, but you'd be surprised when you start to find answers and you start to believe in what you do. It all comes together.
It does. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And now you have another business besides doing this. What is your other business?
So my other business, I'm an event planner. So I coordinate with corporations and directors, executives, and just whatever they need as far as meeting planning and things of that nature. I help coordinate that. So,
oh, that's excellent.
So I don't, you know, it's not my primary that I love. So anytime someone's trying to plan an event that I know personally, they usually come and ask me, and, you know, I don't mind assisting and providing my services to them. So that is the side
that's great.
business that I have too, on top of modeling and being an investor. I'm also, I don't know if I told you this, but I am getting into new builds. So with the real estate part, the goal for me is to find land where I can build affordable housing for senior citizens.
Oh my God.
Not enough out here for senior citizens, and I'm saying this to say, because I've been helping my parents, I've been there for them, and trying to find housing, affordable housing. It's not out there. You know, you figure if you're not rich, if you're right. Not rich, and if you're poor, there's nothing in the middle. There's nothing in the middle.
Exactly. And I'll tell you how I know that's true. We have a place here in Florida, okay, called Devonshire. Now, I've gone there for lunch. I've taken the tour. But if you don't have $4,000 or $5,000 a month to live there, I mean, it's got everything for the senior citizens. Yep. You can have housekeeping. You can get a private aid. It's included. You can have a hairstylist, a manicurist. I mean, they'll come in and clean your apartment. They have limousines. They have buses. They'll do your grocery shopping. But you got to put almost $400,000, $500,000 down just for this apartment, and then pay another maybe even $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Okay, that's not affordable housing for seniors. If you've got money, like you said, okay, and you're rich, you can definitely have that service, okay? But there's so many seniors out there that don't have it. And in the twilight of their life, why should they be deprived in living in rundown facilities, okay, where they're struggling, they can't even get food, okay, and that's ridiculous.
It is.
And you know what?
Doesn't make sense.
It's so important that you do that, because I was listening to the news the other day, and I listen to MSNBC in the morning, and Joe Scarborough happened to bring that point up. He said, we got all these programs going out to helping people, and that's fine. What are we doing for the homeless? What are we doing for the senior citizens? Is there a program out there? He said, I haven't seen anybody come up with a program like that. And when you think about it, the programs that do come up are all funded or done by people like yourself that see a need for it, okay? It's not coming out of our own government. It's coming out of individuals that care.
Exactly.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
That is something that's absolutely amazing. And you want to know something? I hope somebody in Florida starts it. Maybe you and I could start it in Florida, because
I was going to say, hey, maybe exactly, because it's a need. It's such a true need, and I really want to make it happen. And
I'd love to see some of these people go into a building like a Devonshire, and affordable, where you're getting the local governments to even subsidize things like this, okay? Where you have, there's food programs and things like that. But we've checked into these food programs, my husband and I, even for my mom when we're away. They're not that great, okay? And, something that former President Barack Obama said a few weeks ago, when he was campaigning in Georgia, he said, this is not right. He said, you have your parents, your grandparents that worked on railroads, that broke their neck, he said, to get us where we are today. And there's nothing affordable for them. And I agree with that 100%. So, I'm on, believe me, I'm on to that. Okay.
Well, we're going to talk further about it, seriously, because that's something that's near and dear to my heart, that I really want to get off the ground. So
we are.
Just a matter of finding some land, and I got an architect that's already on board with me, and it's just
it'll be amazing.
Just finding the right spot, the place, and have Michigan, but it can be, that's where everyone want to retire to anyway. That would be perfect.
Exactly. And I think I know the right person that can help us with this. The Palm Beach state attorney, very good friend of mine. He loves to get involved with things like this. So after the holidays, I have to see him on a few things anyway. And I think this is something he would definitely get behind us with. So I can definitely see why you are 100 successful women in business. And we are definitely going to highlight your program at the next pageant. And I promise you, when I talk to Dr. D. Thompson today, I'm going to let her know what you're doing. And I'm going to tell her that I will nominate you for the next round of presidential awards.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What you're doing is phenomenal. And if I've got my name edged in the Library of Congress, what you're doing, that should have your name should definitely be in the Library of Congress. So I am so glad that you took this time to be on the show. I know more about you now than I knew. I knew you were spectacular when I met you in England, but I know so much more about you now. And I know that Mom being sick, it's going to be a rough holiday. I've been there myself many, many years ago when my dad took very ill around Christmas time, and it's not easy to go through. But we're sending our love, our blessings, and me, I'm an open book. My phone, my door is always open. Anytime you need anything, you can always call me, okay? And anytime you want to come back to make our world your runway, you have an open door here. And not only that, we welcome you with wonderful arms to come back to Miss International World for 2023. And I know you're going to do absolutely spectacular.
Absolutely. Thank you, Angela. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry a little bit about the, the audio and stuff and signal speed, but I know there's storms, but Ron is very good. We'll make sure we get this audited as much as we can, and we have your pictures, so it'll be great.
Okay.
All righty, my dear.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great holiday. If I don't see you before, if I don't speak to you before then, but have a great Christmas, great New Year, and we'll see you in 2023.
Thank you. You too.
Have a great weekend.
care.
Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye now. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard an absolutely spectacular story from Latina Roggero, and I could understand why she was a recipient of 100 Successful Women in Business. Now, next week, we are going to take a little bit of a break, a little bit of a hiatus, because it is Christmas and New Year's week, but we are going to be back with a new look, a new sound, and some over-the-top guests in 2023. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to wish you and your families a wonderful holiday. Whether you celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, and of course, New Year's, our blessings to you. And remember, you always have an open door. I'll make our world your runway. So God bless you. Happy holidays. And we will see you in 2023.